jump into something a little different today.
Different how?
Well, we're going to be looking at lucky numbers.
Lucky numbers.
Yeah, based on this Hindi YouTube video I found.
Oh, interesting.
Of course, I'll be translating and summarizing for everyone.
Makes sense.
It's this astrologer and numerologist named Rima. She was interviewed on a show called the Vikas Podcast Show.
Okay.
And she talks about these numbers that she says really worked for her and her clients.
I mean, I'm always up for exploring new things.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that her remedies involve writing specific numbers, like on your body.
On your body.
Yeah, and people are reporting some pretty wild outcomes.
Wow.
So let's start with wealth attraction.
Okay.
Rima says she wrote the number 24 in green ink on a water bottle.
24.
Yeah, and she explains that 2 plus 4 equals 6.
Right.
Which is Venus's number. You know, the planet associated with beauty and abundance.
Oh, the numerology angle.
Exactly.
So it's not just the number itself, it's the planetary association.
Yeah, and what I found fascinating is that she didn't just write the number and, like, forget about it. She, like, really visualized the goddess Lakshmi arriving with wealth.
Oh, interesting. So she was actively engaging with it.
Yeah, like really picturing it.
Now, that's where I think things get interesting, because that's where the psychology comes in.
Oh, you mean like the power of visualization?
Exactly. There's a lot of research showing that vividly imagining yourself achieving a goal can actually activate the same neural pathways as actually doing it.
So it's like you're kind of priming your brain for success.
Yeah, like creating a mental blueprint.
And she really went all in with the visualization, like she talked about Lakshmi's chariot arriving laden with riches.
Wow, so she's really painting a picture in her mind.
Yeah, it's almost like she believed it into being.
And, you know, it's not just wishful thinking either.
How so?
Well, when you consistently focus on a desired outcome, you might unconsciously start making different choices and taking actions that align with that goal.
Oh, I see. So maybe it's not like the number itself that's magical,
Right.
but more like the mental shift it creates.
Yeah, like maybe it helps you see opportunities you might have missed before, or take risks you wouldn't have considered.
Makes sense.
It's like using the number as a tool to focus your intention and direct your energy.
Okay, let's move on to another one.
Sure.
This one is for stock market success.
Stock market, huh?
Yeah, and this time it's a specific 15-digit number.
15 digits. Wow, that's a lot to write down.
Right. And Rima claims that 80 to 90% of the people who use this number saw big gains in the stock market.
80 to 90%. That's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm all for the power of mindset, but I'd want to see some data to back that up.
Of course.
You know, the stock market's a complex beast.
Yeah, tons of factors involved.
Exactly. So attributing success solely to a number seems a bit, well, simplistic.
I hear you. It's like correlation doesn't equal causation.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Just because someone used a number and saw positive results doesn't mean the number caused those results.
Right. It could be a coincidence or other factors at play. Like, what if they also got some great financial advice or made some smart investments on their own?
Okay, how about this one? Academic success.
Okay, back to school.
Yeah, Rima offers another long number sequence this time for students.
Interesting.
And she suggests that parents encourage their kids to write it down daily.
Daily repetition. I can see how that might tie into some psychological principles.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about affirmations.
Okay.
The idea that repeating positive statements can influence your beliefs and behaviors.
So if a student is constantly writing this number and associating it with academic achievement,
It could potentially create a self-fulfilling prophecy.
you mean like they start believing they can succeed and then they actually do?
Exactly. It's like planting a seed in their subconscious mind.
And as they nurture that seed with those repeated
It
actions.
could blossom into greater confidence, motivation, and yeah, maybe even better grades.
So it's not like the number has some magical power to make you smarter,
Right.
but it's more about the mindset it cultivates.
Right. Yeah, the belief in yourself and your abilities.
I like that.
It's fascinating how these remedies blend numerology with these psychological principles.
Yeah, it's not just about the numbers themselves.
It's about the thoughts, beliefs, and actions they inspire.
Now get ready for this one.
Okay, hit me.
This one's supposed to help reduce fever.
Reduce fever.
Yeah, within 48 hours.
That's a pretty specific claim.
Right. The number is 786-266.
And just writing this number down is supposed to bring down a fever.
That's what she says.
Well, I gotta say, my scientific mind is raising an eyebrow here.
Oh, yeah.
Fevers are usually a symptom of something else going on in the body, an infection or illness.
Of course.
So, while I'm open to the idea of the placebo effect,
Placebo effect meaning like the power of belief, right?
exactly, if someone believes something will help them heal, sometimes it does.
Right.
But I'd be hesitant to rely solely on writing a number to address a potential medical concern.
Yeah, I mean, always good to consult with a healthcare professional, right? But it does make you think about the connection between mind and body.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like if someone truly believes that a number can help them heal, could that belief trigger a physiological response?
I mean, it's possible the mind-body connection is powerful, and we're still learning so much about how it works.
Okay, ready for another one?
Yeah, lay it on me.
This one is for enemy removal.
Enemy removal, that's a new one.
I know, right?
What's the number for that?
So she says to write the number down and visualize the person being gone from your life.
Visualize them gone.
Yeah, like really imagine them out of the picture.
It's almost like a form of mental distancing.
Mental distancing.
Yeah, like creating a boundary in your mind between you and this person.
Oh, interesting.
It could be a way of reclaiming your power, especially if you feel like you're being victimized or controlled by this person.
She even suggests visualizing that you never want to see their face again.
Wow, so it's like a really strong intention to cut ties.
It's like a psychic block button.
And you know what? It might actually have some real-world effects.
How? Oh.
Well, if you're constantly focusing on this person being out of your life, you might unconsciously start making choices that lead to less contact with them.
Oh?
Or you might find yourself less affected by their actions because you've already mentally distanced yourself.
So it's not necessarily about some mystical force banishing them,
Right.
but more about empowering yourself to create boundaries and take control of your own experience.
Exactly. It's about shifting your energy and focus toward what you do want in your life.
Instead of getting caught up in the negativity.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's really interesting how these remedies kind of tap into our desire to like control things around us.
Yeah, to find solutions to problems.
Right, exactly.
And sometimes the solutions come from the most unexpected places.
Oh, totally. So what's next on the list?
This one's for dark circles.
A number for dark circles.
Yep, Rima gives a specific number, 4754-75054, for getting rid of them.
I gotta say, I'm a little skeptical on that one.
Yeah, it does seem a bit out there.
Well, think about it. Dark circles usually come from things like genetics, lack of sleep, maybe even some underlying health condition.
Makes sense.
So just writing a number down, I don't know how much that would actually help.
Right, probably more effective to address those underlying causes.
But I can see the appeal, though.
How so?
Well, people are always looking for quick fixes, especially when it comes to beauty standards.
For sure.
And maybe for some people, just the act of writing this number down and focusing on the desired outcome gives them a sense of hope or control, even if it's not really addressing the root cause.
Okay, ready for a wild one?
Always.
So Rima claims there's a number that can help people avoid surgeries.
Avoid surgeries. That's a big claim.
Yeah, she even tells a story about this person who was literally about to go under the knife.
Oh, wow.
Wrote this number down and suddenly felt so much better that they just walked out of the operating room.
Wow, that's quite the anecdote.
It is, right?
Uh-huh.
But obviously got to take that with a grain of
Yeah.
salt.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm all for the power of the mind, but when it comes to serious medical conditions, you gotta consult with a doctor.
Absolutely. Can't just rely on a number.
Right. Gotta make responsible choices about your health.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit.
Okay.
This next remedy is for dissolving gallstones.
Gallstones, huh? So is this another just write a number down and poof, they're gone type thing?
Well, there's a number involved, but it's also combined with a specific diet.
Oh, a diet. That makes more sense.
Right, so Rima says she had this client whose gallstones completely dissolved after following her specialized diet plan.
Interesting. So how does the numerology tie into this?
Well, she says the diet is based on planetary associations.
Okay, so like certain foods are associated with certain planets and you eat based on that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's an interesting concept. I mean, there is a lot of buzz these days about personalized nutrition.
Right, like how different foods can affect people in different ways.
Exactly. But I want to see some scientific evidence before I'd recommend a numerology-based diet to anyone.
Yeah, makes sense. Got to be careful with health stuff.
For sure. But it's cool to see how she's combining these ancient ideas with a more modern approach to health.
Okay, let's talk about something a little more universal, money.
Money. Who doesn't love talking about money?
Rima has a remedy for attracting money urgently.
Urgently. Huh. I like the sound of that.
And this one involves both a number and a ritual.
A ritual. Tell me more.
So she gives the number 6054-6756.
Okay, that's a pretty long one.
And she says to light key lamps, chant certain mantras, and make offerings on Fridays.
Wow, so it's a whole process.
It is. It's like a multisensory experience.
And I think that's where the power of ritual comes in.
Oh, how so?
Well, rituals can be really powerful, not just in a mystical sense, but psychologically as well.
What do you mean?
They can give you a sense of structure, focus, and meaning, especially when you're feeling stressed or uncertain.
So in this case, it's not just about writing down the number.
It's about creating a whole experience around it.
Right, with the lamps and the chanting and the offerings.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like you're putting your intention out there in a very tangible way.
I like that it's like a physical manifestation of your desire.
Exactly. It's like you're creating an environment that supports your goal both internally and externally.
Okay, ready to move on to matters of the heart.
Matters of the heart. Always a popular topic.
Rima has a couple of remedies for attracting love.
A couple. So is this like one for finding a soulmate and one for like winning over your crush?
Pretty much, yeah. The first one is for finding a desirable partner.
Oh, okay.
And the number is 197023.
197023.
197023. All right, got to remember that one.
And then for attracting a specific crush.
Aha. So this is the more targeted approach.
Exactly. That number is 64844638.
Yeah, so two different numbers for two different love scenarios.
Yep. And again, she emphasizes the importance of visualization.
Right. It's not just about the numbers themselves, but about the thoughts and feelings you associate with them.
Yeah, it's using them as a focal point to direct your energy. And you know what? Maybe that kind of focused intention can actually have an impact on your behavior.
Oh, you mean like it makes you more confident or outgoing?
Yeah, or maybe you start noticing opportunities to connect with people that you wouldn't have seen before.
It's like you're priming yourself for love.
Exactly. And speaking of love, what about those of us who are already coupled up?
Oh, good point. Rima has a remedy for improving troubled marriages.
Improving marriages, that's a tough one.
The number is 4016-12695.
Okay, that's a long one.
Do you think a number can really fix a troubled marriage?
Well, I gotta be honest. I think marriage is a lot more complicated than that.
For sure.
It takes work, communication, compromise from both partners.
Right. It's not a quick fix.
Exactly. So while I'm always open to trying new things, I wouldn't put all my hopes on a number.
Yeah, it's like expecting a Band-Aid to fix a broken bone.
Exactly. If a marriage is in trouble, you gotta address the underlying issues.
Through communication, therapy, whatever it takes.
Right. It's about taking responsibility for your part and working together to make things better.
So the number might be a nice gesture or a reminder of your commitment.
Yeah, but it's not going to solve everything magically.
Now, this one might pique the interest of anyone who wears glasses.
Glasses. What about glasses?
Rima claims there's a number that can improve eyesight.
Improve eyesight. Now that would be amazing.
Right. Like imagine not needing glasses anymore.
Oh, I would love that. But I'm also a little skeptical. You know, our eyes are pretty delicate.
Yeah, got to be careful with them.
So what's this number?
It's 1421543.
All right, 1421543. Got it. And what do you do with it?
Well, this is where it gets a little interesting.
Interesting how?
She says you got to apply your own saliva to your eyes every morning.
Wait, what? Saliva?
Yeah, she claims it helps improve your vision.
Whoa. Hold on. I got to put my foot down on that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Saliva can carry bacteria. You don't want to be putting that in your eyes. You could get an infection.
Yeah, this is definitely one remedy we do not endorse.
For sure. Got to stick to evidence-based practices when it comes to eye health.
Absolutely. If you're having eye problems, go see an eye doctor.
Right. Don't mess around with your vision.
Okay, ready for one last remedy?
Hit me with it.
It's for dealing with enemies.
Enemies. Oh, boy, that's a heavy one.
Yeah, it's something we all encounter at some point in our lives.
True. So what's the magic number for this?
It's 184-427-849.
Okay, and what do you do with it? Just write it down and hope for the best.
Well, there's a little more to it than that Rima says to visualize the person being gone from your life.
Gone from your life, like completely.
Yeah, she even suggests imagining that you never want to see their face again.
Wow, that's a powerful visualization.
It's like you're mentally cutting them out of your world.
And you know what? That might actually be helpful in some cases.
How so?
Well, if you're constantly dwelling on this person and the negativity they bring, it can really drain your energy.
Yeah, for sure.
So by visualizing them gone, you're essentially shifting your focus away from them.
Right, and maybe even protecting yourself from their negative energy?
Exactly. It's like creating a psychic boundary between you and them.
It's kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
All these different remedies for all these different aspects of life.
Yeah, it's like a numerological toolkit or something.
Exactly, from wealth and success to, like, health and relationships, even getting rid of enemies.
It's funny. We've been going back and forth with this whole thing, like, is it real? Is it not?
Yeah, healthy skepticism.
Exactly. But I think there's a big takeaway here, no matter what you believe about the numbers themselves.
What's that?
The power of intention.
Oh, you mean like how Rima emphasizes visualizing your desired outcome?
Yeah, not just writing the number down, but like really feeling it, believing it.
It's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Exactly. Our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality.
So even if we're not sure if the numbers themselves have some kind of magic power, maybe the act of engaging with them, the writing, the visualizing, the believing, maybe that's what sets things in motion,
It's like using those numbers as a tool to focus your mind.
like a mental anchor.
Yeah, and to program your subconscious for success.
Whether you call it numerology, psychology, the powers belief, whatever.
There's something to be said for the power of our minds.
For sure, this deep dive has given us a lot to chew on.
Definitely makes you think.
So, any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with?
I'd say keep an open mind, explore different approaches, but also be discerning.
Don't just blindly believe everything you hear.
Right, question things, do your research, and remember, you have more power than you think.
The power to shape your own reality.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our numerological adventure.
Yeah, time to go put some of these ideas into practice.
See if these lucky numbers work their magic.
Maybe we'll manifest some good fortune along the way.
Who knows?
Mm?
But one thing's for sure, the power of our minds is a force to be reckoned with.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of lucky numbers.
Until next time.